Look who it is, everybody.
It's me, Kimba, or whatever.
Well, hello, boys and girls.
Hi.
What a wonderful day it is today in our money-based economy. Well, sit back and relax and get ready for the guy who's about to ruin everything.
I'm puzzled. Are you really seriously suggesting that Jesus Christ was a mushroom?
Wait, Jesus was a mushroom Roberts.
Yes. You are dealing with a secret cult, a secret society.
Welcome to Waning Interest.
Welcome to the Waning Interest Podcast, number uno ceto, right? 100? Is that how you say 100 in Spanish?
I don't think so.
August 2nd, 2022, the Babbling Dabbler, the smallest click on the internet, the pinball brain in your favorite machine. It's like a diary or a book, but not as stale or as coherent. From a mentally challenged, more with all caps, like great grandma likes to type. Mentally challenged Forrest Gump. I like to think of me as if Mikey and Mouth from the Goonies played a lot of bareback leapfrog. And then a few months later, actually weeks, like when Kenny Loggins, my true mom, talked about his diverticulitis. Similar, very similar. That was like, that's a great visual of,
We've already gone there.
Of my birth. Oh shit, I was supposed to get rid of that. Damn it. I was supposed to do that sooner. Fuck.
I know.
I need a producer.
And they noticed it was your shirt that had to be changed and your hair that had to be did. It wasn't me running late. Don't even. It's all him.
It's all Safari's fault. Fucking StreamYard has to be used on Chrome or somebody else. And somebody else, I don't know what other, because the only one other. Oh man, maybe I should stop drinking. Hey, look, did I say everybody? Yeah, we said, look, it's Kimba, and then there's another Kimba in the chat, which is hilarious. Oh yeah, I loved it. That was one of my so far one of the most fun things of the night is when you finally popped on because of the me forgetting to tell you that you got to use Chrome, and then you started reading the chat. I was having fun.
I think it was James who said maybe he meant 11:45 a.m.
The murderer, James Watson.
It's 11:45 somewhere.
Is there a delay? I don't know what it is, but since I got the new camera, there seems to be, everything used to be fine when I did my open, when I played something from here, like the open or, one of the greatest sounds ever. For some reason, when I got the new camera, which is, better, supposedly better, it slowed things down. So when I hit a button like the open or whatever, do something like that, somehow it has some kind of a weird stutter. Sound is fine, but it stutters the video, and I don't understand why. And it's making me very angry, lady.
I can tell.
So I kept a promise. I said back at what was it, Whip 88 you were on?
Something like that.
I said, yeah, and there. Oh, you said you're having a drink because you don't have to go to work this time. Oh,
Rock. It's water, as far as you know.
Oh wow, straight fucking vodka. She's a badass. Vodka on ice. I love it. Anyway, I kept a promise. I did a couple of podcasts since '99, but I was clever like Saul Goodman. I just changed the fucking name. Sorry, I was expecting a better laugh than that. Oh, Jesus Christ. You must be reading the chat while I'm talking about. See,
I am.
Are you? Because I usually don't. I usually babble for a bunch, and then I go to the chat, and then I scroll for a second, and then because there's so much, all of a sudden it just jumps on me, and then I got to go fucking find it again. Like, when you get in a cold bath. So, Jesus, this is a tough fucking crowd. I am bombing horribly.
No, you're not really. I'm getting every last one of them. You know what I mean?
So for anyone, I'm going to stop talking after I say that. For anybody new who hasn't seen Whip 88, Kimba is the reason that I'm sitting where I'm sitting now. So all the blame goes straight to her.
Blame me.
Basically, everything since the first quarter of 1994 is all your fucking fault.
You're welcome. My gift to the universe. Wayne, my gift.
I made one. I just to shut my dad up. He wanted me to go to school for something. I'll give a super quick summary of the funny story before you start talking, and I can take a fucking break.
Oh, I have
really
to talk.
need a breath. I need a breath, man. I'm still a smoker. You quit 30 years ago. Jesus, sure. Yeah, 94. Yeah, you quit the year we met. Just to get my dad off my back. He wanted me to go to school for something. And I told him, I'd figure something out. He gave me a couple of months to think about it. And I still was like, I don't fucking know. I want to be a professional bowler, and I'll just paint during the day. And then I'm going on fucking tour soon, man. That's what I'm doing. And he was, of course, a smart one. Anyway, he wanted me to go to school for something. I couldn't figure it out. Finally, one day, just to shut him up, I said, radio. I'm going to go to school for radio. And I thought he was going to say, what? And he went, okay, cool. What are you doing about it? And I just went, I'm going to make a couple phone calls pretty quick.
Now that you've called my bluff.
And I was a big listener of, at the time, was Zeta, what was it? The classic rock. What was it? What was the fucking?
Ron and Ron?
No, 94.
Oh.
94, you guys were classic rock, but what was the phrasing?
Oh God, we went through like 5 million phrasings.
Yeah, I know, but the classic rock one was before the modern rock part. Before you didn't say it, modern rock, but what the hell was it? Come on, I'm on the spot here.
It doesn't have to be old to be a classic. I don't know.
I want to say it like Mitch Lewis, but he wasn't the voice, so I can't.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't remember. There's so many of them. I don't remember which one came.
Damn it. But anyway, I was a big listener, and my favorite stuff to listen to was, especially after Ron and Ron debuted. First, Kimba was in the morning, and then Ron and Ron debuted, and she went to nights, and then Stancil was in the afternoons. And then I thought I was calling Stancil in the afternoon, but it turned out I wasn't listening to the radio. He was on vacation. Kimba bumped up to his spot, and I called to say, hey, what do I do to get into radio? And I thought, well, wait, you don't sound like Steve Stancil. Wait, this is Kimba.
Although on occasion I have sounded like Steve Stancil.
And then she told me to go to Miami Lakes Tech, where she went, which was cheap, and you got on-air experience. And I said, sure. And the next day I called Bob Gaynor, Red Puddin' Head, and I said, I want to come there. And he said, no, you don't. You don't want to get in the radio business. It sucks. I said,
That's what he does his speech, yes.
Yeah, you don't want to do this. Yes, I do. No, you don't. Yes, I do. No, I don't. Yes, no, you don't. Yes, I do. No, you don't. Yes, I do. Okay, be here at 11 tomorrow. And then Kimba would let me come into the station. I'd sit there during her shift at night doing, damn it, what the hell was it? Classic 94.9 Zeta, classic rock 94.9 Zeta. Was that what it was?
Yeah, probably.
Something.
Sounds about right.
I know there was a bunch, but that one where you guys super cooked for a couple of years with Ron and Ron in the morning.
Yeah, the Ron and Ron in the morning, classic rock all day. I think it was just. I don't think it was anything.
But it was 94.9 Zeta, or was because then later on it was the rock station 94.9 Zeta,
and then it was Zeta 94.9.
And it was Zeta 4.
There were so many incarnations.
Right. I'm just trying to think what that, because I just wanted to say it because once in a while I like to talk like that. because it's so much fucking fun. Anyway, and then so I got to hang out at Zeta a bunch, and then I'd go with Kimba to see fucking. Oh, and then Kimba, and then one of the things hopefully she'll talk about, because why would I'm not a promoter. Her latest broadcast. The link is in the description to her YouTube page and her Twitter. Company Kane. You had one of the dudes from Company Kane. I was like, holy shit! It was a local band in Fort Lauderdale, Miami, and I was like, whoa! I forgot about those guys. We used to go see those. We went and saw those guys together. What, 5-6 times?
Yeah, and I had Groovy on, who's a guitarist, and he just put out a record. Look it up, Groovy Pantesco. It's really good, and he just had an album release party here in town. Because he played for Company Kane, he played with Robbie Jeanette, he's played with Southern Blood, he's played with a bunch of bands down here. And now he's in Atlanta. But he recorded that album with Steve Gorman from the Black Crowes on drums. And I think Bobby Keys, like the people he has on the record who recorded the record with him, pretty impressive. So
see, and if I'm not mistaken, if I remember correctly, they kind of like Company Kane was kind of like the way I see Junkyard, it's kind of like they were, the really cool cousins of Guns N' Roses. Company Kane was kind of like that with the Black Crowes, right?
I would go with that, yeah.
Yeah, which is perfect with fucking Gorman on drums with him on his album. That's so fucking cool. And Atlanta, because Georgia is where. Anyway, that's fucking cool, man. Yeah. And that was so neat when I popped that on, hit play on that, and I went, holy fuck, Company Kane. Oh my God, it was like a year and a half where we went and saw them all the time and got hammered with them a bunch and stoned. Oh wow, they were badass. They were fucking fun. They were great live.
Mm-hmm.
Kimba was also in the, especially in the 90s, very killer for the movement of the Fort Lauderdale rock scene, the local scene. It was, and it was really cool. Man, it was so fucking cool. God, I love.
We used to have a lot of local bands, and there was a lot of venues that they played at, and then I got to do the local show for
South
5 years.
Yeah, that's right.
And it went from 1 hour to 2. I was just talking about that. Well, because Groovy was in town for the local bands, and we were talking about that, and it was the coolest thing to be able to have 2 hours, 100,000 watts to play local bands. And back in the day when I did that, it was, I think I started it in 95. This is they sent stuff to me on cassettes sometimes. Sometimes they would have a CD. Sometimes it was on cassette. It wasn't the email where they're sending you these digital files. It didn't even exist back then. Sometimes they'd drive it to the station and drop it off. So the format. So even, I guess what I'm saying with that is sometimes the sound was even a little bit crude to be played on a major market commercial radio station, but we did, as long as it was not too bad. I could get away with playing it.
And it was a good song. Yeah.
Yeah, and a good song. But what a cool thing to do. And back then, that's when, because I kind of cheated, because it was supposed to be, it was considered a local show, but I figured, well, local's Florida, right? I did the entire state, and I mean that in the nicest of ways. Thank you. Should have told you I had that ready. But some of the band, there was a lot of bands that ended up being Matchbox 20. Whether you like these bands or not, they were Matchbox 20 was in Orlando, but one of the guys was from here, from South Florida. So they kind of got their start on the local show. Collapsing Lungs, Non-Point.
Non-Point. Oh, I thought those guys are so badass. They're kind of like the Junkyard, Guns N' Roses, Company Kane, Black Crowes with Rage Against the Machine.
I'll say another one. Creed. Yep. They were up in
Orlando.
Tallahassee. No, I think it was Tallahassee.
Yeah, I think it was farther north.
But I mean, I remember getting their demo. You're like, popped it in. I was like, oh. I used to play Torn that was the song from Creed I used to play on the local show all the time, Torn.
Wow.
And they took, I think the first single was My Own Prison.
And what was it? I think I just remembered, I believe, because I was such a Company Cane fan, when I produced for, I hate saying the name, but John Ford, when he did the...
You hate saying the name?
Oh,
I want to know that. I want to know that story.
His sidekick / producer when he was doing the Mr. Super Talk thing on Saturday nights and sometimes Sunday nights, and he was a musician himself, so he liked all that stuff. One of the nights, I had Company Cane came in and actually played on the show. It just that memory, which I didn't have a couple of days ago when I watched your interview with him. I just remembered then, but in the last 5 minutes, I went, "Oh, that's right. We had those guys on Mr. Super Talk on a Saturday night and had them playing live in the studio." So it was fucking badass.
I would have played some of that, but that's the one I cannot. I have so many. I kept all the audio. I have so much audio, and I have every local band that I ever brought in to do the local show live to come in and play, except for them. I can't find theirs. Company Cane. So I don't know. I'm hoping one day it'll just miraculously pop up, but
I didn't look. Do they have stuff on YouTube? They must have some of their music on YouTube by now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it's Cane with a K.
Cane with a K.
For folks that want to look it up. Company Cane with a K. And then you made me realize, I know I was supposed to shut the fuck up, but one of the cool things that it dawned on me with us being friends and everything, and you get me into all this, and you doing the local thing, when I'm at IOD in the 90s, while you're doing the local thing, the PD at IOD gave me the gig of Sunday nights running a show called Neil Won't Like It, which was basically like a local thing, but for talk. So while you got all that music sent into you and you had to go through it to do a show, whatever, I was getting people, whoa, fucking awesome. That was awesome,
dude.
Awesome.
Come here, say hi.
That's
I told you, it's going to start getting a little crazy.
Oh, by the way, Danny was saying a bunch of nice things about you at the end of the podcast while she was telling everybody I was going to be live soon. Earlier. She loves you. Danny from the podcast likes you.
Thank you.
But yeah,
Danny?
I was, and that's the same thing happens with her. She's got some, yeah. Oh, I was telling you, yeah. She's got 6 now instead of 4. But the Neil Won't Like It thing, because Neil Rogers, who was who you used to work with back before.
I did,
yeah, before even my days, and he used to. I think I told this on 88, but either way, I know there's always new people, but remember, because he knew we were friends, and he would bust your balls on air. He would only do it when I would walk into the studio, either to give him something or walk into the control room to give George something, whatever, or I was sitting in for George, and he'd just do that shit just to make me go, "What the fuck, man? What the fuck, yo?" And he would do it, and he'd just giggle, and then he'd call it. But he knew,
he and I bonded because we had the same crushes,
Yeah.
Sean Cassidy and Steven Tyler. We both like the same guys. So.
But then, because Neil was so big and didn't like, and he told the truth about a lot of people, and the only person that he really said anything nice about consistently was always Phil Hendry and Suds Coleman, and of course, I wanted to say his name, Orlando. What the hell was it? What was the guy? Who's the Hispanic singer? Not Ricky Martin. Who was the other guy that's more in the Spanish world that he really loved? Orlando somebody, was it? I don't know. Either way, So then the PD, Steve Nickel, decided to do a sort of a local show slash because you guys also did the thing where you let a fan come in and be a DJ for an hour. What was that called? What was that called?
Fan to come in and be a DJ for an hour.
No, what was it called? It was
I don't remember. Guest DJ, because that wasn't a.
There was a name for it.
Yeah, but it didn't happen for a really long time. Look, man, do you see the cells are jumping out now, screaming? Like,
I know. I can't remember either.
It wasn't.
I'm just looking for help while I.
That was when Mursky was there, but it wasn't.
While I would think.
I ain't even got a license, Lita.
Nothing halfway up my ass, but other than that, I'm perfect.
Yeah, I don't remember what it was called.
Oh, nice pillow for the roids. Anyway, the local shit. What the hell was it? We get to sit in and be a DJ for an hour. What the hell was that called? There was a fucking Google name for it. Anyway, but the Neil Won't Like It thing was sort of a cross between the local show and a sitting in playing DJ for an hour thing. And I had to go through all these tapes and not music, but people fucking talking, like listening to this. And but anyway, it was pretty fucking wild, and I put some really weird, funny people on, and some people in the building did shows, and I did a couple myself, and I don't know. It was anyway. The point was that we both ended up doing similar shit that you did, which was kind of that's the synchronicity I guess I was looking for. That, which is what this podcast is all about. So, take over, please.
I'm looking at the comments. Turkey drop Kimba. Turkey drop Kimba. They're talking about KRP.
Oh, yeah.
We did do turkey stuff. There was turkey dropping and turkey bowling.
Yeah, they hired Steve Stansel. Come on, that was funny.
It's very funny. He has a lovely waddle, by the way.
And then it hit me fucking, like I mentioned earlier, I saw that video and those pics of those old Zeta pics. And then I'm thinking, oh, I should have saved them because you have to turn them into PDFs to pull them up on here, on this StreamYard thing. So you have to turn, So, and I realized, it's too late.
I just was delivered about 3 large boxes, and the funny part was they were in Corky's catering boxes. So I said the boxes that these pictures are in are as historic as the pictures, because Corky's is that famous deli in North Miami Beach that's not there anymore. But 3 really large boxes of pictures from Zeta, because they're getting ready to move move into another building. And
wait, what?
Yeah,
you're getting ready to move into another building from that building, smaller, of course, yeah, because everything's so.
So I think I don't know if they would have just tossed them or whatever, but Jerry, he said, I think you might want to. Are you interested in these? No. And so I haven't even gone through, but maybe like a half a box or so many pictures. And that's so every so often I'll post a few of them like you've been seeing, because I don't remember doing half of these. There was that one I even posted. I did a broadcast from, it was called Club Wet. It was at Atlantis, that water park that was off the highway down here. Like, I have no recollection of doing this broadcast. Oh, that's from On Cue. Look at that. I don't remember that hat. Where did I get that hat from? I don't know. That's 1991.
And that's Steve Stansel.
Which blew my mind that I've known Steve even longer than that, which is kind of scary.
Now that looks like the true Steve Stansel. Hold this while I stand here, baby. Oh, whoops, wrong way. What's the other one? Oh wait. Look at that. Oh my God, sweetie boy, you wore a lot of lipstick back in the day, didn't you?
Yeah, well, I get it on my glass.
Come on. Come on, stop being blurry, bitch.
That's what you get.
Stop being blurry.
Really, actually, the blurry needs to be put on this one now. It's like a filter.
But there it is. Okay. Zeta 4. Just
Mm-hmm.
classic rock. Zeta 4. Oh, shit. Missed that one. Is that? Yeah, that's you.
Yeah.
Come on. Get into focus.
Shamrock glasses on, yes.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Who is that? Is that Jose Masso? No, that's... Who is that?
But that's
weirdo?
what I'm finding these pictures. Like, I don't remember doing that. But again, it was 31 years ago. I don't remember. We did a lot of live broadcast, a lot of appearances. I don't remember them all. I remember those glasses because I think I still had those until very recently. Those little shamrock. Those were cool.
I had a what was it? A Christmas party. 90. I think it was 99. Our Christmas party. It had to have been Clear Channel by then. Yeah, it was Clear Channel by then. And then there was an after party at your place, and I was hammered, and there was a bunch of us, and you had a kaleidoscope, one of those old tube kaleidoscope things. I had that for years. I took it home with me. He's like, hey, "Can I take this, please?" And you let me take it home. And it finally got ruined because Riley got a hold of it when she was like 8 months old, and pulled it off grabbed it and pulled off the thing and chewed on it a little bit. And then the cardboard.
A picture of all of us at my house for that party.
Get the fuck out of here! Show it. Where is it?
I'll talk. I'll look while you're talking. I'll see if I can call it up.
One of the things one of the story we're talking about work. Well, my new work as some of you guys know, I'm in the cannabis industry. Fucking not yesterday, Sunday, 2 days ago now. Before I open the store on Sundays, I water a bunch of plants, and there are after I water, I don't have to, but for the folks that are gonna water next, I refill the buckets, and I go. So I'm like, all right, I'll refill this bucket after I'm done here. I'll refill this, and while I do that, I'll go do something else. Kill two birds with one stone. Of course, come back in the room a few minutes later, I'm hearing splashing. Oh, fuck, overspilled. I was done there, but then I had to go fucking vacuum that shit up. And this room is like next to the actual store, and it was really bad in there, and I got it all up. Put everything away. All right, let me get the store ready. I'm all set to go. I go to open the store. I open the door to go into the store. Behind the counter, right there, I see fucking puddle. Oh, it came through. Oh, fuck. Go get the vacuum cleaner. The shop vac. Bring it back. Suck that shit up. My clock's fucking ticking. Gotta open. Put it away again. Come back out again. Now I'm there. All right, that's dry. Open the thing to where the customers would normally be, and whoa, look, an even bigger puddle. Fuck! It came through there. Oh, shit. I gotta open. It's 2 minutes late. Nobody's here yet, but I gotta open. All right, let me just quickly open. I run through the thing, and instead of unlocking the door into the normal lobby, so I can go out and unlock the door out there, out the front door, I forget because I'm in a hurry. And I realize as it's shutting, oh, fuck! Oh, and I don't have my keys on me. Now I'm sitting there locked out of my own store with a big puddle in front of the counter. And I haven't even peed yet. And I'm like, oh, Jesus, fuck. So here's the funniest part. So I'm like, wait, I make I give a couple of texts and a couple of calls for some help, and they're like, oh, just a card. That's actually that. I shouldn't say this, but yeah. Anyway, my SAG-AFTRA card actually, after all these few years that I've been gone from Los Angeles, actually came in handy, and I opened the door with my SAG-AFTRA card. It's cool because I haven't paid my dues in 3 years. I still have that car. I don't even know why I still have that car. The fucking thing expired. Anyway, but luckily I did because I wasn't going to use a credit card.
That's why you had it.
Yeah, it's fucking beauty. Anyway, so I'm not done. Boom, I get back in. Nobody's come in. Luckily, I get the vacuum cleaner again. I've got to dump this fucking thing. I've already dumped it 3 times because of all the water so far. Go grab it again, pull it into the fucking store, suck that shit up, take the fucking thing back out into the back again. All right, everything's cool. All right, while I'm waiting around, now I got time. All right, let me fill this other bucket for tomorrow. I'm not going to fuck this one up. This is a bigger barrel. I got more time. I got right here. I'm all good. Thing's only half full. It's got some time because it's a big barrel. Oh, somebody's here. Ew, I go out. I'm sitting there in the store waiting for them to come in. Nobody comes in. What the fuck? Where are they? They pulled in. I saw them pull in. Why haven't they not come in yet? Go back out. Look at the camera. Oh, they're pulling away. Ah, fuck. Oh, all right, whatever. I guess they changed their mind. Am I hearing splashing? Fuck! I did it twice in one fucking day.
Oh, here comes trouble.
Well, see? Glad that cat wasn't around.
Oh, no.
Fucker would have drowned. Oh, I can see. That's so great. What's the name?
Sasquatch.
By the sound of those thumps, that's a perfect name.
It's part Maine Coon.
You racist little bitch.
Oh my God.
See? More synchronicity. Oh my God. Look at that big fucker. Wow. Dude. Well, what's a Maine Coon doing way down in Gatorland?
Stepping on my desk.
The question was answered in the video, stupid.
Learn about Cuba, doing some food.
Wait a minute.
What? Mr. Hand.
I'm so wasted.
It's my skull.
Awesome. Totally awesome. Man, one of the most beautiful things about going to Australia, I got to say this. Fucking that whole Spicoli thing. I go to Australia when I'm 18, and my friend Andrea introduces me to her friend Dick. Dude drove a VW bus, was a surfer, was a massive stoner. The only difference was he had dark hair. We used to actually do the same thing, open his VW van and
all
fall out of it with smoke. We just didn't have skateboards. They were surfboards. Dick was so fucking funny. Anyway, you brought up Fast Times. And
usually Dick is funny.
She just mentioned mushrooms. I didn't. Or did she? Or did I? Oh, well. Anyway, where to next? Do I have notes? Do you have notes? I don't have any notes. Do I have notes?
No.
I have no. Oh, I did. I told my Sunday work story. Was I done with that? Was that all of it? I think that was all. Yeah, so much water. Man, I thought I was Noah. But there were no animals. It was just a whole bunch of trees. Dude, have you seen some of those buds? Have you seen some of those buds that come out of the place where I work? I guess you said. No? Do I have a picture? Maybe I should show you a picture. Do I have a picture?
Yes, we are, Bill K. Yes, we are.
Oh, Bill. Bill's here. Bill's funny.
Actually, I don't know if you remember that when I did the 90s at 9 feature. And we got a sponsorship from
yes.
Dick Anderson Cellular, who was a former Dolphin player, but he owned a cellular store, but he sponsored the 90s at 9, and his tagline was something like "Go with Dick." Well, I ran with Dick. Every night I would be like, the 90s at 9 brought to you by Dick Anderson. I'd do the correct tagline and go, you know how much I love Dick. There's that whole tiptoeing over the line, or it was just.
Oh yeah,
I love that sponsorship. And then when it went away, listeners were actually calling. What happened to Dick? I said, I know. I lost my dick. I don't. Yeah. I had a lot of fun with that.
It reminded me of like one of the bits that Neil used to play was Sofa King.
Yeah.
They're so fucking great. So fucking great. Anyway. Yeah. I ran with Dick.
I did.
You go, girl.
I did.
Did I ever ask you if you're a Junkyard fan?
No, you did not.
All right. Yeah, I did just now. Fucking liar.
Sure. All the time.
No, really? Seriously? Whoa, I'm hearing myself in it. No, yeah. Huh. 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 Just trying to get your neighbors all like, what the fuck?
Impact windows, they don't hear anything.
Oh, that's right. You're in the Floridians areas. Yeah, I am. I'm hearing me in.
You like it, don't you?
Yeah, I kind of wish there wasn't a delay. Wayne is a walking
junkyard. I just read the exact same one. Mm-hmm.
In a world
I was going to say a stumbling junkyard word, but sure.
Hey, that fits, man.
He's giving himself CPR. Is that what you call it these days? As long as you do it to the rhythm of staying alive, you're good.
Cock pulmonary resuscitation. I just pulled that right out of my hemorrhoided ass, and I'm still hearing myself. Can you plug your headphones in for a second and then pull them out?
They are.
Wait, then why am I hearing?
I don't know.
Hey, see? Are you hearing? Oh, it's gone. Oh,
how about now?
Gone. Check. No, it's back.
Yeah. Well.
But when you,
okay, I'll turn my microphone off. Nice talk.
When you grab. But when you grabbed that stick, it did seem to stop.
I turned it off is what I did. That's what made it stop.
Oh. Well, I know you did the second time, but the first time I thought you were still talking.
No.
What happened?
I pretended. That was an illusion.
The sound was fine.
I don't know.
We have to stop this.
I'm not hearing the echo, so I don't know.
Well, fuck. Shit. Everybody else hearing the pulled dick? It's affecting my thought process. Can you?
So I already got
one check 7 12. See, yeah. Damn. Maybe if you just unplugged your cans and then plugged them back in, maybe that'll work. Checkity 178. Check.
Gone?
Check. Nah, still hearing it. Now, if you plug them back in, maybe it'll stop. I'd buy Kimba a drink, says Mr. Beckham.
Bend it. Thank you.
If nobody else is hearing the echo, I can go on, but I just want to make sure that nobody else is hearing it. I don't want it to go on if it's still there. Wow, the vodka's almost gone. Shit.
Good to see you, Kimba.
We're only 40 minutes in. And I'm lost, especially with that Burberry. How can we get that to stop?
I don't know.
Here. Let me remove you for a second. And now, damn, still there. Somebody say something, bitches.
Something.
Oh, I know what the problem is. You're not doing enough talking. See, it doesn't happen if you're talking. So.
Mm-hmm.
What are you reading?
I'm just reading. Yeah.
Is Wayne a good wingman?
I have no comment.
That's not true.
That I have no comment? That's true.
Come on. So you were training somebody today?
I have no comment because you were just sharing. You were sharing a story with me that I don't even remember. So, like,
what one?
What were you messaging about at Nick's on Hollywood Beach that I don't even remember?
Oh.
I mean, I remember being there with you, but
one of
he
those
remembers
things.
the details much better than I do.
All right. And the echo, the reverb seems to be gone, which is nice.
There.
Hey, I don't
It's
know what
a Christmas
happened.
miracle.
Somebody did ayahuasca. No, Kimba's referring to a time we went to see somebody play that we knew, and there were some. Somehow it was snowing in Florida. And yeah, anyway, I was super fucked up and asking for things in front of people that didn't know those things, and so anyway, I ended up taking like I think I took like a 3-month break from drinking and anything after that, and then said, God damn, this is boring.
What am I doing?
This is 1997. What am I doing? This is 1998. This stuff is free. Why am I turning it down? I'll turn it down when they make me pay for it. And anyway, that's to me that's kind of funny. In all the realizing that in all the times that I participated in a snowstorm, I only paid for it financially. I paid for it every fucking time later. Oh, turn into a fucking zombie. But financially, I only paid for it 2 or 3 times. Well, a bunch of those were, he's on my tab, paid for it like that. But literally buying that shit, I only bought it like 2 or 3 times. Never had to. And only did it for a little. It was a short period, and then went, fuck this shit. This is gross. I can't stand listening to the grass grow. I always thought that was the perfect fucking way to describe a crash from cocaine. Listening to the grass grow. It's. I mean, I heard it a bunch of times, and then literally went, wow. I now I really know it. That's what I'm doing for the last hour and a half. I know what they mean now. I kind of went, that sounds funny. Now I really know. Oh my God. I was listening. I heard that fucking millimeter, that blade of grass. Oh, I heard them. Anyway.
Well, what's funny about that too is that everyone assumes because of where I worked and how long I worked there that I did all that stuff, and I never did.
No, you barely drank. I mean, I don't think I ever saw. I don't recall.
I did. I drank a little. Yeah.
Little, yeah, but I don't think I ever saw you drink more than 2 or 3.
Right.
While I was just hey.
Well, I remember when I first started going out, I would drink my beer so slow that one of the bartenders at the Button South slapped down a brandy glass on the table. We're like, sipping it. Here you go.
That's great.
It was all around me. I can tell you that. It was all around me. I just never partook in.
Smart.
Maybe.
Smart. Well, I mean, it's
just wasn't my bag, baby.
It wasn't mine either, but after the 80s, having a close family member having a problem with it. And then actually, I took, not, I think I've said it before, but whatever. I took their cocaine. I was 15, and I saw some of their stuff on their bedroom dresser when I used their bathroom, and I went, swept it right into the rug with my foot. Went and took a piss, went back out, and went, by the way, your stuff's in the rug if you want to go looking for it.
That didn't go over well.
One would think that I took a beating, but I didn't. Because he's a good guy, and he knew. Anyway, so I went through that with a close family member, and then in the early '90s, I got the shit beat out of me by a cocaine. Synchronicities. When I was a bowler, this is before radio. I knew this guy, and he was a dealer at the bowling center. My home bowling center. I bowled at a bunch of places, but that was my place, and I worked there too. I had a buddy of mine who was epileptic, but not the grand mal seizures. He had the zone out seizures, which is what he died from. He had one, and nobody was there, and he rolled into the water because they basically zone out, black out for 5 minutes. Yep. Anyway, I found out this dude was fucking selling coke to my epileptic friend, and I got really hammered and confronted him. I was in radio school at the time because I went to school the next day or the day after or something, and my face was just fucking completely rearranged. This fucking guy, wham, wham. He beat the fuck out of me because I confronted him, and I thought I had people behind me.
Right.
And they quickly disappeared when I went and did what I said I was going to do and confront this fucker in the parking lot. Anyway, so I went through all that, and at this point, the only time I had even consumed it was in high school. Once a friend had it in the locker room in gym class, and he went in, and all I did was go just a little bit. I licked my finger, dabbed a little bit, and then licked it off. And never did anything. It was like Tom Hanks in Big. But then in the late '90s and all that stuff with radio, and it was there, and I went, fuck, I went through all that shit. Let me know what the fuck it was. What? Why did I got the shit beat out of me once, and all these things, and let me see what the fuck it is, and I get it. I get it. Hey, can I have some more? Dude, remember Cheers and Rock Candy?
Of course.
One night, I went from Rock Candy with their promotions guy, who was also associated with the radio show I was working with at the time. Mm-hmm. Promotions. Later on that night, in the morning, fucking 4 a.m, the owner of Cheers, Paul is sitting, basically, I'm sitting at his desk, he's sitting over there, and the other dude, the promotions guy, is sitting right there, and I'm sitting at Paul's desk where he told me to sit, and I'm sitting in front of a mound of blow like fucking Scarface. Whoa. And I had to be to work at 6 a.m. This is 4.
Well, that'll help.
God damn it! He had to come get me because I couldn't drive. Damn it! You know who I'm talking about. We won't say his name.
Oh, yes. I know who you're talking about, yes.
Yeah, he was my roommate at the time. I had to go, dude, I can't fucking drive, man. I'm hammered. And
and he went, all right, Dan.
My nose is kind of plugged up. Please come get me. And we only lived in our apartment. We were only a mile from the station. But, so when he dropped me off, he only had a mile to go home to go back to bed. So I had this figured out. But anyway, the point is that yeah, got the living shit beat out of me one night, and the whole thing with I fucking wasted somebody's blow. I fucking put it in the carpet, man. So I would kill me.
Are you sure it was wasted? Did they?
Yeah, he wasn't that bad of a. He wasn't that much of a fiend. Anyway, but yeah. Oh, now the echo is back. Puberty waning. Says Wayne, you're intelligent and your hygiene is above reproach. So the Manson thing, the person who did all the killing in the Manson thing was Tex Watson. That's why James Watson usually delivers stuff like that, so that's why I call him the killer. Anyway, Jesus, woman, start talking, please. Shut me the fuck up.
What would you like me to talk about?
I don't know.
Well, there you have it.
Just go. I mentioned Junkyard. So do you even know any of their stuff, by the way?
No.
Because you know a lot, but I didn't know. No? Do you remember you don't remember Blues or Hollywood?
Who?
Blues, Blooze. That was one of their first hits. It's like their Welcome to the Jungle. Hollywood. No. Do you remember the picture with Axl wearing a Junkyard shirt like this one, but it's cut up and the sleeves are cut off?
No.
Do you remember that famous picture? No.
I'm gonna go with no. No and no.
Note to self: start booking guests that say more than no. Jesus.
Okay. No, I don't. Yes, I am still a DJ. Thank you for asking. See, that's the thing. I have to talk for a living, I get paid to talk.
So do I. I sell weed.
That's right.
You put up a video recently of walking down the hall into the studio in that building that we used to both work in South Florida, and wow, man, I felt like a ghost following somebody walking down the hall. It was so fucking weird.
Although that studio's in a different place than it used to be.
Was it? That's not where the big 106 was before?
No.
Right next to the stairwell?
No. It's a different studio. Yeah, they moved it.
It seemed like it was in the middle of that hallway where to the right are the production studios, right?
Nope.
You made a left into the big 106, middle of the hallway. To the right used to be all the production studios.
Different hallway.
Get the fuck out of here. Where the fuck were you?
You remember where the Zeta studio was?
Yeah, in the corner.
If you walk down toward where my office used to be, it's down there.
Oh, no shit.
Right before, it's actually on the left. It was a conference room and they turned it into the big studio. And now it was right before the area where outside of the kitchen.
Right.
It's used to be a conference room. Now it's the big studio.
Where they used to put the people that would come in, the massage therapists that would come in.
Mm-hmm.
Right? The green room.
Yeah. Yes.
That was weird because it seemed like the hall was a little thinner. Anyway, either way, wow. I mean, that was the fucking building I was in when 9/11's happening. What?
Yeah.
Such a fucking trip. But you guys are moving again. Again. It's been 20 years.
Yeah, it's been. Yes. I think by the end of the year.
So that means 2 years.
Well, no, it's supposed to be much sooner.
Talk.
That's already been bumped. So who knows?
Right. It usually ends up every time they do something like that. It ends up being 2.5 years.
Yeah.
At least back then.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. So fucking wild.
I now remember when that was a new building.
Yeah, when did we move into that? 2000?
2001.
Was it 01?
Beginning.
The beginning of 01, so right before my daughter was born. That's right. Wow. Because remember, there was a few weeks there in that building where we did a little handoff because my ex-wife did the mornings on Love.
Mm-hmm.
I'd bring Riley in, so I'd be coming into work as she was leaving. Here you go. It was kind of funny. It was kind of a trip. It was kind of a trip. Riley would sit at my production cubicle for about 5-10 minutes sometimes, maybe. Sometimes it wasn't even that much. Wow, what a trip.
I know. You'd bring her into my office, too. She's a little thing. Now she's, what? I don't know, 45?
Wait a... Whoa!
Whoa!
No, she's only 21. A little shit. Yeah, it was kind of neat. Not long ago, she asked me because she couldn't remember. Back in the day, 12, 13 years ago, whatever, she was in sort of like a school of rock. I had her in a thing like that. This dude that was a music teacher and then privately had a bunch of students, and then twice a year his private students would be able to put on a show, and in those shows, and it was how I got to play the whiskey.
So, incoming.
Maybe that's what it is. It's the cast that's making me echo.
It could be.
Beckham's asking, "You're still a DJ?" Yes.
Yes.
Whoa.
Yeah.
She's my sister's age. Who's sister? Anyway, see, that's why I don't read. 'Cause I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. What the hell was I talking about?
Riley?
What about her?
Yeah.
Oh. When she was in that School of Rock thing, and she learned, she was learning drums and stuff, and we played the whiskey. What the hell was it? Oh, well, she had forgotten who the teacher was or whatever, so I don't know. Apparently, I don't know. Some other people, some new kids are being sent to learn music, which, if I was running everything, which I should be, music would be fucking mandatory at the age of 2. Do you imagine? Can you imagine? Now, imagine if that was true.
Mm-hmm.
Music being mandatory at the age of 2, and how soon they soak that shit up at that young age, like they'll soak up 2 different languages, 3 different languages. Imagine the fucking music, the true soulful music that would come out, that would be everywhere, and this corporate horse shit would go away. It's a nice thought.
Yeah, but if music was mandatory at 2, and it would depend on what they were subjected to.
Either way, every human learning how to play an instrument by starting at the age of 2. Mm-hmm. I mean, fuck, they would just progress into other things, and it also is helpful. Learning music is helpful in the cognitivity, right?
Oh,
of the brain. Which is one of the reasons why you look at a lot of musicians, listen to them talk, and you're like, oh my god, okay, this music thing can't be that hard if they, because there's a lot of dunces.
Well, anyway. It's a special skill.
It's just such the repetition. I tell you what, when and you mentioned Jerry earlier.
I did.
Who still works there in that same building, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
He sold me my first bass way back in 93 or 4, whatever it was. My boner Honer. But one of the things as much as I love music and just listening to it, and how things, even being a listener, how, things get stuck in your head. One of the things that turned me off of being a actual musician was the intensity of learning a song and how much you just couldn't get it the fuck out of your head. And it starts to make me realize, oh, no wonder people that just do music, no wonder they're so fucking weird. It's just this whole thing, and their head it's constant, and it's almost, of course, getting into comedy and doing stand-up, I started to see sort of the same thing, except for, like Stanhope's great bit. Sometimes I take 2 Xanax and 2 laxatives, and I play chicken in my sleep. Sometimes I take 2 laxatives and 2 Xanax, and I play chicken in my sleep.
Mm-hmm.
I play chicken in my sleep.
Mm-hmm.
I play chicken in my sleep. I'm just trying to show you how lazy songwriters are. I have to do a whole hour of different words. They just repeat the same shit over. This is a great Stanhope bit, but anyway, he's goofing mostly, of course, but it's true. But anyway, the point being that I hadn't done. It had been a bunch of years before I got ready to do with Riley being in that School of Rock thing. They basically, what Dave would do would he would break up people in their abilities thing, and he would put a bunch of bands together, and most of them were kids. So he had adult kid people that he and a lot of the adults were parents of the kids that he would teach. So he had a lot of private students, varying ages. And what he would do in the shows twice a year, every 6 months, there would be like 4, 5, or 6 bands. And one of the bands was always the old folks band, which was his band, and they would do 5 songs, whatever. And he asked me, well, she's here, whatever. You told me you play bass. You want to be in the band with, in the old folks band, play bass? Sure. And that's how I got to play the whiskey. Sure, So, and then Riley, but before I got to play, I got to sit there and watch my kid at fucking 9, what was she, 9 or 10? 9 years old. I'm like, look at her, she's playing drums. Where Tommy Lee and Steven Adler and John Densmore, and the list goes on and on and on. Like, that's my kid behind that kit. Holy shit. I need a whiskey. And then I was at the whiskey, and I needed a whiskey, and then I'm like, I'm going to get up there. And, I've been this, fan of this. Oh, shit. I didn't realize his head was cut off. My apologies, Jim. I'm not looking at myself. Anyway, the point being that to get to the rehearsals to do that show was the first time that I really, it had been like 20 years or 15 years or whatever since I did any of that stuff, like in the early mid 90s. And I'm like, oh my God, I could not get those fucking 5 songs out of my head for 2 years, dude. And it's classic rock. Fucking just want to make love to you. Fucking Life in a Fast Lane. I mean, I'm like, oh God damn. It was so, but because you're just constantly, it's so, you can see why that, it's a certain brain. And that's why I can't, fuck. And that's one of the things with comedy, with doing stand-up, where I would have to take breaks where I was like, I can't just, it's this constant thing where, now I'm annoying everybody because everything I say, you get into this mindset of everything has to be a punchline, or at least a setup. Everything you say, everywhere, just to continue, because you get into that, whatever you do, it's not just comedy or music, it's, all these things where you have this mindset.
And now you've got all these bands who are together now 40, 50 years that are still touring, and they're still doing the same songs they did 50 years ago. Because they have to, if they don't, there'll be a riot.
Dude, and what sucks is, and I don't know, it's fucking sad. It's fucking crazy too, because I'm a GNR fan, but I will never give them any money ever again. And I haven't given them any money since my tickets in 2016, seeing them at Dodger Stadium, where, of course, I got ripped off, where I thought, it's L.A. Izzy's gonna be here for this, and Steven's definitely gonna. He's already done Cincinnati and Nashville. He's gonna be here for this. It's L.A. It's Guns N' Roses. No, he did the second show the next night, which I wasn't there. Anyway, fucking the music, of course. It should be fucking Steven and the drums, man. Frank is a great drummer, but it's not the sound. It's not even Matt Sorum's sound. Just not right, man. And then of course Axl's fucking voice, which kills me because he absolutely destroyed when he filled in for Brian Johnson the end of that doing for the AC/DC thing. He fucking destroyed. And apparently I don't know, but now he's in that. Stop. Stop. You're paying how much money for tickets? Shut up. Dude.
Yeah.
It's painful. And they pop into my recommends because I'm a GNR fan, so they pop into my YouTube and all right, let's check this live. You know, people putting shit up from the shows recently, you know, like in the last couple weeks. Oh.
Intrigue. I have to see what pops up into my recommends.
Now, what was the thing a few months ago? Great proof of what I just said. Great proof. What was the thing? Who was it? Axl did something somewhere with somebody, some female singer.
Somewhere with something, somehow.
Some country singer.
Harry Underwood.
Yeah, that thing. Did you see that?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
What? They made that a big story, like it was great, and I'm like, this should be. What the fuck? That sounds like shit. That sounds like shit. And I hate saying it, but
yeah, there's a few artists who don't sound quite like they once did. Still tour.
You're not still giving money to Aerosmith, are you?
Are you kidding?
That's a yes.
I've got the dump truck pulled up now, so I can just throw all of my money. Stop! Please stop. No.
Please stop. Don't give them any more fucking money. But that's one of the reasons I pimped Junkyard, because Junkyard never got blown up and bloated and bullshit. And to me, you know, they're like sound-wise, to me, it's like if, you know, Skinner, AC/DC, and Guns N' Roses had a baby. And I think they crank. And, you know, Brian Baker was one of their guitarists in their heyday, and he went on to Bad Religion. But he still writes with them for their new stuff, which still good.
Yeah, I'm going to see Aerosmith in Fenway.
You're coming all the way over here? Up here?
IR. Mm-hmm.
When is that? August?
September.
Like I said, September?
Yeah.
Thanks, Neil. Jesus Christ. The last time I saw them was here. Old Orchard Beach. The Black Crows opened. 1990. 1990.
Yeah, well, it was supposed to happen 2 years ago, so.
Right. Yeah, a whole bunch of things they're doing at Fenway. They just did the Bill Burr. Bill Burr recorded a special there, or is he about to? Is that this month? When is that?
I think it's coming up.
Did he already do it, or I don't know.
I think it's coming up.
I've lost track. I used to listen to Burr's podcast, but I haven't for a long time.
Yay. Be there in September. Yeah, they're playing in Maine and then Fenway.
Aerosmith's coming to Maine?
Mm-hmm.
Where?
Bangor.
They're going all the way up to Bangor? Holy shit. That's more north than I am. Mm-hmm. Damn. Rocks is still in my top 10 favorite albums. And I wish, man, I hate the whole thing. I wish we could play it. I wish I could fucking hit play and just...
Yeah, I know.
And you can. I think I told you before. You can if you just don't save it. You can go on and you can do a thing like we're doing right now and play music and stuff. But then it won't stay up.
In a world. All right, that's funny.
In a world where
Where
Wayne
Wayne
says,
says,
in a world. And the funny thing about that is, man, everybody, Hal Douglas doesn't get enough credit when it comes to that because everybody immediately assumes it's all Don LaFontaine. It wasn't always Don LaFontaine doing those trailers, and I thought Hal was actually better, and I shared an agent with Don LaFontaine for a couple of years before he died. But Hal was funnier. And have you ever seen the Comedian trailer?
Yes. That's very funny.
In a world where laughter was king. No in a world, Jack. No? What do you mean, no in a world? It's about a comedian. But the best part is when he just can't stop doing the... When your mind is no longer your own. Stop. I hate you. You hear the producer go, I hate you. You're fired. I'm fired. No, you're really fired. I'm fired. Get out of the booth, Jack. No, I like it in here. It's the greatest trailer ever because it's making fun of trailers.
Yes.
And it has nothing to do with the movie.
And it's making fun of all of the voices that do the trailers for the movies.
Oh, so fucking great.
Yeah.
God, I love that. I first learned of that trailer. You've heard of Maurice Tobias, right?
Sure.
Right, the voice teacher. I took one of her weekend seminars and when I was in LA, and I think it was 2005. I think my ex-wife got it for me for a birthday present or something. So I spent a weekend with a bunch of other voice people with Maurice, and she is so funny. But she played that for us like twice in the studio, in between talking and then us, practicing our thing. Because it was about doing trailers and stuff. That was the first time I saw it. Dude, fucking hell, man, I had to... And this is before the YouTube thing. This was way back. It was before shit got to be where it is today. Man, I shared that over. I still, to this day, it's like one of my favorite things. Like
Yeah.
In a world where laughter was king. And he's dead too, along with Don.
Yeah, well, that happens.
Yeah. And I was one of those idiots where, because I was with Tischerman, I had the same agent as Don, and he was known, and I knew about it. He was known for taking people like me, younger, dumb folk, hacks, and letting them, come over to his place, into his studio, and hang out, like you would let me hang at Zeta back in the day. But in his home studio after he had it built. And you could hang and just watch Don for a bunch of hours, just shit, trailer after trailer, commercial after commercial, you name it, just sit there and do it and shit and see it how it's done on a daily basis instead of just, I book once a week. This guy's just fucking one right after the other. So you learn a lot. Anyway, I never took advantage of going, hey, guys, can I be one of those that goes and hangs with Don? I could have done it, and I never did because I thought the fucker was going to live forever. He was bald.
Is that the criteria?
So, and then he went and fucking died. What a dick. Anyway, but I did go to George DeLoyo's once. George, you're a Days of Our Lives fan?
No.
If you look up George Del Hoyo, he's a voice guy and an on-camera actor. He's on and off on Days of Our Lives. He's done a bunch of other stuff too. A big voice guy, and he was also with Tischerman. And then after Don died, I was like, I fucked that up. In the two big dudes that kept the lights on for Tischerman, two of the five were Don and George, but they were the big two. All right, Don's dead. Can I go hang out with George? Well, he didn't actually do that like Don did. Oh, fuck. Oh, all right. Well, all right. I tried. 2 days later. What are you doing right now? I just woke up. Well, you be at George's in 20 minutes. Oh, fuck. Really? Dude, he did. I watched him. I sat there, and he didn't have a studio studio. He basically, George DeLoio does his voice stuff in a room that's basically like Scarface's office. In a room that looks like Scarface's office. But there's two desks. So you're sitting at this desk. So against the wall, he has another desk. So he just spins around, and that's where his mic is. And back in the day anyway, back in, late 2000s. And he would sit. Everybody else stands. George sits, puts his hand against the wall, and uses the other hand to talk and to bring it out while he does his shit. But he has his one hand on the wall. It was the trippiest fucking thing. I've never seen anybody do this like this.
Right.
I'm not in a studio. I'm not looking through him in a whisper room through glass. I'm literally in his office, and he's just turned around reading off his shit. And what was it? What was the...
Well, kind of looking like he's at a urinal?
Kind of, yeah. Yes.
Well, I lost him. There you go.
George DeLoio, who looks like he's at a urinal while doing his voice work.
At a urinal.
Damn it, I fucked that up. I should have said that. But it was so trippy because everywhere else, you're in a whisper, you're in a little tiny booth or a fairly decent sized booth, and there's all the waters and oh my God. And he just, hold on. All right. Well, just got another fact. Hold on. He spins around. And he was doing, there was what was the Disney one? The El Lorax. That was one of the ones he did. He did the Spanish trailer for the Lorax.
El Lorax.
That's the other way that George fucking murders money-wise. He does the Spanish shit too. Mm-hmm. His wife. You're a Larry Sanders fan?
No.
Remember the show? No?
I'm not a fan. Just never saw it.
Oh, you got to get HBO Max just for a month and watch the Larry Sanders Show.
Look, before you tell me that story, I'm just going to tell you that's one of the things about me. I can't tell you how many things I have not seen that you're supposed to see, and everyone goes, "Well, you got to see that one. Make sure you watch that one." And I always go, "Sure, okay." It will never happen.
The fucking list is like a Christmas list.
Really.
I know.
But continue. You're Larry Sanders.
Dude, if it wasn't for the Larry Sanders Show, there would be no Modern Family. There would be no Arrested Development. Mm-hmm. There'd be none of that single camera shit. That's where it all started, basically, with Gary Shandling doing the Larry Sanders Show, which was, basically a take off of doing a talk show. So it's got this whole showbiz thing, and it's really about love. It's really, when you really watch it and you listen to Gary talk about it, it's really about love. Anyway, the point is, if you were a Larry Sanders fan, George DeLoio's wife played, her character's name was Melanie, I think. She was the one of the bitches from the network that hated Larry. Beautiful woman. Anyway, when I got to George's house that day to sit there and watch what I just described before, not kidding, it was a trip. This house is nice. It's right out of a soap opera. Yeah. He opens that big motherfucking door when I'm just standing there and I'm like, man, I shouldn't have smoked a cigarette. I probably smell like a cigarette. Oh God, gross. What am I doing? These people probably don't smoke. Looking at this a place. He opens the fucking door and there's this huge stairwell right behind him. And there she is, coming down the stairs to say hi as he's there at the door. I'm like, it's a fucking shot right out of a soap opera or a movie. I'm like, what the fuck? And this is 20 years after Larry Sanders, and she's still gorgeous. She's still a beautiful, beautiful woman. I can't remember her name, but she's an actress you'll recognize if you watch a bunch of shows, especially back in the day. Beautiful lady, but literally coming up in this, it was like, this is what I'm shooting for. This is what I'm shooting for.
How'd that work out?
Yeah. Ta-da!
In a basement.
I told you I was a Junkyard fan. Mm-hmm. I stayed, local. Apparently, I don't know what I could have thought of something funnier, but man, it was a trip. And then to go into this huge fucking like Scarface's office, like wow, that's cool. Where's your I don't see where do you record? All right. Oh, there's your. Oh, really? Wow, that's where you do it. Oh, wow, this is cool. And then, yeah. El Lorax. What the fuck? And then I heard it. Like I was there when that was recorded. And a whole bunch of other. He did a bunch of. That was back when he was also the voice of American Idol. He recorded a few promos for them. I mean, I think I was there for like 4 hours, just like one after the other, and then we'd talk, shoot the shit for like 10 minutes, and then he'd do another one, and then we'd shoot the shit, and he'd ask questions, ask me shit. It was like, wow, this is a trip, dude. And it, like I said, the reason I bring it up is it was basically like sitting there in the studio with you back in '94 and '95, like, this is so cool. All right, don't move. She's on the air. She's live. Don't move.
I have a feeling you got paid a whole lot more than I did.
I remember like the first handful of times I didn't move. You would hit that. You'd go on. All right, I'm going. You'd go on. I'm 2 feet from you, like basically over the desk, and I'm just completely still. I'd play dead still, like a possum. And then after a while, I'd be like, you'd be on the air, huh? Yeah.
Of course.
It was funny. And then I learned that whole thing with it, and they would say that, you don't have to be hee, but just do this, just put the smile on the face when you read it, and it sounds like you're smiling. Yeah, and I'm like, oh, that's what that shit is. Oh. They're fucking faking it. Start learning all the tricks, and you're like, oh, fuck this. I hate getting behind the curtain now.
Yeah.
It's fun for a while.
That's when I didn't answer too many questions when people would ask me, listeners especially, because I don't want to ruin it.
Oh, that was always fun too. That was always fun during a break where you, when music was playing, and then when I was sitting there in the studio with you, and you'd take some calls to record to play back. And just to sit back and listen to you off the air talk to these fucking people before you snipped it up and threw it on the air. That was fucking great. Like, oh my God, that's like me. Oh, and then there was that one time with Dustin, a girlfriend of mine, her little boy. I put him on the phone with you, and you put it on the air. Just listening to, I'm listening to 90s at 9, right? Is that what he said?
Is that eating some chips? Is that the one?
Yeah, I listen to 90s at 9 and eating chips.
Eating chips.
You can hear me howling in the background.
Yeah.
That was fucking great when you sent me that a couple years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Like, holy shit, that was 1994. Whoa.
Yeah, I know. I used to, I would save all the audio. And at the time, I really didn't know why, because no one else was doing that. No other jocks were saving these phone calls and breaks and interviews, and now it all makes sense now. Because I've been able to use them on the podcast and play the interviews. So it's pretty cool to listen to all of it. Listen to the phone calls. Oh my God, the stuff we used to get away with. Oh. I mean the Dick Anderson, for instance. The stuff I hear, oh God! In fact, there is I have a compilation CD. I don't know if you remember the Friday Morning Quarterback, like the trade magazines. One was called Friday Morning Quarterback, and every now and again they would release, I think it was quarterly, a CD, and the CD would feature some of the new songs that came out during that quarter, but it would also a lot of times feature a radio station. Or radio station. So it'd be like a new song, and then the track would be somebody from whatever station, song, another station. Well, there was a phone call with Paul and Ron. And I think it was Omelet. But Paul and Ron, definitely. I listened to that, and I extracted it and sent it to him and went, Not only the fact that they aired the phone call, but that they used it for a trade CD that went around the country. I can give you the synopsis of it. He was talking about, I guess this lady who worked, it might have been when he was at but this lady that he worked with always was flirting with him. So he finally took her home. But then after he and her did whatever, then his roommate got in on the action, and he went and made a sandwich to go in and watch. And of course, Ron's like, well, what kind of sandwich? And they start talking about this. It was roast beef. And he's like, so you only held it with one hand then? I mean, it was, if you listen to radio today, it was something that never in a million years would have gotten, because I was listening to it and go, I forget sometimes how far we used to go with stuff. And I heard that and I said, oh my.
The best part of the sandwich part, it reminds me, it was Beckham. Mr. Beckham just said, Kimba, could you bring us into the weekly top 10? Well, Beckham is known for he's part of the Manson Saga discussion panel, the podcast, the Paulcast, that I roasted. I roasted him recently. Well, we all roasted him. Anyway, he's known for a story of during one of the podcasts about a year ago, he had a couple of ladies over. And you could barely see him on camera. But anyway, something about a sandwich. They made him a sandwich while he was doing the podcast. So you said sandwich, and it just enhanced the synchronicity of the story.
Of the sandwich.
That's one of the greatest parts. If I start telling, doesn't matter who's on, whether it's you, Beckham, Brett, Danny, Paul, all the people I've had on, Mike. Just start telling a fucking story, and somewhere towards the end, it ends up being, it ends up actually fitting to whatever, not meaning to. It ends up fitting anyway at the end. Ooh, speaking of hemorrhoids. Fluffo! Did you know Fluffo's cheaper than Crisco? I only know that because of the killer, the murderer, James Watson. There's a running joke on the podcast thing with Crisco, because with Manson, dude, you can't. It's one of those things. Manson is not to get off on man. I get off on Manson all the time. Anyway, it's a great example. The Manson story, I guess, is the best way. Why did my screen just do a funny thing? The Manson story is a great example of where the mainstream thing that we were taught all these years, come to find out, is a lot of horse shit. But that's not to say that Manson was, the greatest dude in the world. He was a thief, a pimp, all that stuff. He never killed anybody. Nobody was listening to him. He didn't tell those people to kill those people. That it's so easily, it's if you really do the homework. Anyway, it's a great example of that. And what the fuck was my point, Manson? What was my point? There was a fucking point. Watson. What, top 10? Fuck, what was my point, sweetie? Shit, fuck, shit, fuck.
Find your point.
It's another example of the mainstream bullshit. It's not, what the hell was it? There was something about the Manson thing that I wanted to get to a point of, like, for instance, fucking, the mainstream narrative is that Manson was a shitty musician that wanted to be a star, which is not true. He wasn't a shitty musician. Fucking Neil Young and a bunch of others said he was going to be the next big thing. They all loved him, and nobody had seen anybody play the guitar the way he did, that he learned in prison. His songs and blah, 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 the Beach Boys, all this stuff. No, he was not a hack. But some of the other things, and the whole story is basically a cover-up of Hollywood itself, is what it is. And he's like the fall guy. They talk, like, you've been taught that Linda Kasabian was some little angel that just fell onto the ranch, and then all of a sudden, like, oh, listen to Tex, and we'll do things, and then I drove because I was the only one with the license. horse shit. Linda, when you actually do the homework, instead of listening to the fucking horse shit on the TV, like Kasabian was doing that shit, doing what she did way before she even knew Manson. She was a dirty, dirty shit. Turns out, I went to high school with a relative of hers. True story. She got immunity. All these things. There's just so much stuff that was thrown at Charles, and I'm not saying that Charles was, I'm not saying that. He was a good musician. I'm saying the truth. Why? When you try to say the truths, it gets because of like it's a trigger for some people where they're like, oh, immediately, oh, boogeyman. You gotta, which is fucking crazy because when you actually look at the facts of everything, it's not to say that Charles was the greatest guy in the world. It's not saying that at all. But it's also saying that, wait. Notice how I could go grab 100 people off the street, put them in a line, and just walk down the line and go, do you know who Charles Manson is? Yes. Do you know who Tex Watson is? No. Would be the answer almost every fucking time. They wouldn't know who the fuck Tex Watson is. Mm-hmm. Wow, he's the one that did all the He fucking killed more people than Jason Voorhees in the second Friday the 13th movie. But it was all Charlie. Nothing. They don't talk about how everybody was innocent. All the victims were innocent, and the victims didn't know the killers. Total bullshit. They were all drug dealers. They had been many Tex Watson lived in that house at Cielo before Sharon Tate did. He sold drugs out of that house while living there when it was Terry Melcher's place. They leave that part out. That's a fact. All this stuff with all these people that really did all the bad stuff, it's all thrown at this little guy who just wanted to play his fucking guitar and, Anyway, the Crisco thing, that's where it was.
I knew he'd find his way back. I just was waiting.
That's what this podcast is all about.
I know.
My way back.
It's the Wayne cast.
It's basically like it's kind of like the Goonies right now. We just fell down that little tube of water and we're about to fall into the water and look up and go, look at that ship. Look at that shit. Anyway, what was it?
Crisco?
Dude. One of the other things that's not talked about that was covered up, even though it's almost like Peter Falk, who is the first celebrity I was like inches away from when I first moved to Los Angeles in 2003 at a Kinko's. Peter Falk used to pay Manson for sex. And then later on, after the murders, this is before the murders, so did Robert fucking Conrad. The battery shit.
I know. The fact that I knew what you were doing is scary. Yeah.
Those two used to pay, along with many others, used to pay Manson for sex on the Universal lot. That's fact. A couple years later, Peter Falk helps write this book about the Manson. What if Columbo was there during the Tate LaBianca murders and came along afterwards? He says Crisco. He calls him Crisco. He says that Manson calls him Crisco or one of the other way around. I haven't read this stupid book. I'm not kidding. Dude, that's where the Crisco thing. So anytime anything on, at least on this podcast and especially the Paulcast, anything goes towards the butt, people in the chat either they'll yell put Crisco in there before I do, or they'll say, Wayne, it's your turn. And then after a bunch of that, Watson found out that Fluffo is a cheaper version of Crisco. So now it's Crisco or Fluffo, whichever one you want. It's almost like a Ukraine label if you put them together. Crisco is blue and Fluffo is yellow. Look, it's all shit. Anyway. then the horse manure. Like you watch regular TV and poor Ukraine. Oh, Zelensky's the hero. No, he's not. No, he's not. Turn the TV off. Actually, go do the homework and look and see what's going on. Wait, whoa, this is all goes right back to the United States and NATO. Whatever. Same fucking thing. The Manson thing was the thing. Scapegoat shit, bullshit. You don't like JFK. Do you really think that Lee Harvey Oswald acted alone? Please, anybody? You don't think that, right? Right? Isn't that stupid? Especially the way the head goes boom, boom. Wait, if the head goes this way, that shot came from over there. The grassy knoll. Anyway.
I wasn't there.
Right. Neither was I, but, I mean, the video. Okay. Supposedly he got shot from back there.
Yes,
but his head goes this way. Back and to the left. Back and to the left. Anyway, one of my favorite Bill Hicks jokes. I visited the Dealey Plaza and the book depository, and they've got it set up. It's really cool because they've got it set up just like that day, because Oswald's not in it. Fucking horse shit. Anyway, United States is the empire. If it was Star Wars, whatever. Oh, Beckham. That was the other thing. Beckham. What was it? What is it? You said something. Beckham. What was it? The Wayne cast. I don't like that. See, it's what's a Waynesis? Dude, don't you know Greek? Beckham? You fucking dunce. I already roasted you once. What are you just asking me to roast you again? I gave you 16 jokes. You want me, what is Waynesis? Wayne's. I'm calling myself Wayne. Anus, Crisco, Fluffo. Wayne's is Greek, which adds to the Fluffo ass. Fucking, it's like Gladiator. You bet he was. I was there for that. Remember, you remember, of course, where Neil had the drop. Mitch Lewis recorded, Rectum? Hell, it damn near killed him. Mm-hmm. And then Neil I trimmed it for Neil. He asked me, I actually did it, where he got tired of hitting stop because he just liked the rectum part after a while.
Well.
Even though Neil actually wasn't into anal, he was one of those gay guys that wasn't into anal. It was all oral. That's the other thing, with all these different things. Everybody's into different stuff. Just because somebody's gay doesn't mean they take it up the ass. Just because somebody's straight doesn't mean they actually fuck. What the hell is it saying? What was it saying? Rectum? Hell, it damn near killed him. Anyway, I trimmed that thing to where he just had a separate cart for rectum, and he could play either one, so instead of having to pause it all the time.
Right.
And then I remember saying it. It was a bunch of us producers sitting around, and I'm at least a couple of us sitting in the control room. I mean, there's got to be. What else what's another one that we can come up with that's like rectum? Hell, it damn near killed. What's another? And then fucking fajita, Gladiator. Huh? You bet he was. I immediately carted it up.
Harassment.
Huh?
Harassment.
Harassment meant a lot to me. Fucking Mitch. Oh, there's another one. Before I ever went to... Mitch lives near George DeLoya. Well, at least lived. And back in the day, that was actually Burbank. The first house I ever went to in Burbank when I moved to California was Mitch. Mm-hmm. He had such a cool setup. This it was a one-story house, but... when you first walked in, you go up the stairs, there's like a sort of a loft. And that's where he had his giant tray of fucking porn nuggets. At the time, in the early 2000s, his weed dealer was somebody who also dealt to the porn stars. So he called his weed porn nuggets. So he had this like little loft area, TV, all his weed and all this stuff. I did salvia with him. Made it fucking, I just smoked it and I was completely still. but it felt like you fucking take a couple of hits and it felt like you were being twisted into the fucking couch. It was so wild. Look up salvia. It's pretty. It's quick. It's not long. Man, it tastes like shit, but it's a really weird thing. And there's different doses of it. There's stuff that's stronger. And I don't know if you've ever heard of it. Did that there, but then right off, keep going a little bit further after that little loft thing, and open another door and step down, and there's this really cool studio he had. Super cool, like attic looking thing where the ceiling was in. It was just so fucking cool. It was huge. And it was anyway. You never visited there, did you?
No.
You never came out to California, did you?
Yeah, I've been out to California.
Did you never visited Mitch?
No.
No?
Mm-mm.
When did you go when you were there? You were never there when I was there, did you? Were you? You better not have been. I'll end this shit right now.
I've been out there a couple times, 90.
Oh, yeah, that was way before my time.
And then after that, I don't remember what year, though.
Yeah? Where did you go? Were you at, like, the Forum or something?
No, well, 90, I broadcast out there.
From?
Universal Studios, a Halloween haunt.
Oh.
So it was like for an entire week, so you'd interview celebrities all day and then broadcast your show for a week. And I had never really interviewed anyone until then. So that was pretty much jumping into it. That went from nothing to every 5 minutes someone was coming and sitting down next to me. And it was like a hodgepodge. That's a technical term.
Yeah, that's never been said before on the Waning Interest podcast. So,
like Weird Al and Alice Cooper and Clifton Davis and Spencer Davis. It's just a weird Roseanne and Tom Arnold.
No shit.
Yeah.
You interviewed Roseanne in 1990?
I interviewed her, and it was right after she sang the national anthem and grabbed her crotch and spit.
In Frisco?
And luckily, because I really was, soiling myself, because like I said, I really hadn't done that many interviews. And I just thought, oh my God, this woman's going to just eat me up and spit me out. But she saw that I was nervous, and she's like, she's so cute. She's nervous. So she was nice to me. And then we were talking about Tom Jones, and she really liked that. So, because who doesn't like Tom Jones?
Me. No,
I think I have to go now. Like I have no liquid left.
We will wrap it up soon. I just wanted to go longer than we did in part uno.
That's what she said.
Yeah, that's cool because for 15 years I lived 2 miles from Universal Studios, right up Ventura Boulevard, and I would always get the pass for the year. Being a California resident, dude. My kid and I, Riley and I, went to Universal. I don't know how many times a year. I don't know how many fucking times, because we had the year thing and it was just right up the road. So there were some weekends, where she had music stuff or other things. But if there was really nothing, want to go to Universal? It's right there. It was, dude, we would have a blast. And when we first started going there, speaking of the haunted thing, when you first walk into Universal in L.A., right to the left was the haunted house. I think they've changed it now. But back in the day, the haunted house was right to the left. After a few stores, then haunted house was right, one of the first things before you go in and all the other things. When we first started going, she would pull me right in there. She wanted to go in there, but I had to hold her. And then we'd get through every quarter of a way through. There'd be somebody, around the corner going, up. You can't hold her. She has to be on her feet. Okay, I'd put her down. All right, I'll pick you right back up. We get walk away, zink, right in my shoulder, walk around the corner. And she's all, she wanted to do it, but she wanted to be wrapped around me. And I would do that, you know. I'd be like, all right, here we go. Here we go, sweetie. Here we go. Oh, shit, oh, shit. And I'm like, I don't want to drop you. But she fucking loved it. But only
If
you know, if she was if she was like a chimp, you know, hanging on to me. We had a fucking blast. Oops, I didn't mean to do a commercial for. Oh no, I covered it. Okay, cool. I meant to pour it in a glass. See, I get prepared, Sister Pants. And luckily tomorrow's a day off. But dude, and then I was like, wait. We would go on the Jurassic Park ride, which is like, you know, the log flume sort of thing, which I think is different now. It's changed. But for years, it was that Jurassic Park ride. And every time we got on and they get all set and ready to go, she'd always like, Dad, you got to take your hat off. I would almost always have a hat on just for the sun. So you got to take your hat off or it's going to get blown away. All right, I'll just spin it around. Dad, you have to take your hat off.
Did you take your hat off? That's the question.
I don't want you to lose your hat. Making it seem like it was the Mummy ride where we're going.
Yeah.
It's just we're just floating along until that last drop. Oh man, Jesus Christ! We used to go so often. I knew half the fucking people that worked there just from seeing them so often. And we were there the day that the Back to the Future ride turned into the Simpsons ride. We were there that day with a buddy of mine and his kids that I used to babysit for. I was their Manny. Sylvie and Miles. That's a cool story, the way we met. Fucking trip. But we were there that day, and we ran into Kevin Smith back when he was huge. Because he knew Colin, my buddy Colin, who was the dad of Sylvie and Miles. Because Colin was an art director. Dude, Colin, were you a Firefly fan? The show Firefly?
Never
Joss
saw.
Whedon? You never saw Firefly?
I warned you. Yeah.
It's like at number 34. Breaking Bad's at the top still.
And somebody thought I'd like it so much they even bought me the DVD set, and I never watched that.
Breaking Bad?
No, Firefly.
Oh, dude, you have the DVDs?
Mm-hmm.
Dude, you have episodes that never got to air. They shot 12 episodes, but only aired 7 or whatever. And there was such a fan thing that at one point, that DVD set that you have was one of the greatest selling DVDs of all time.
Really?
Yeah, way back in the day. Yeah, it was.
All right.
For a show that got canceled. It was so cool. What was the point? Serenity, Firefly. Oh, Colin designed the fucking Firefly, the Serenity, that ship. He was an art director when he moved into my building. My building was known as which one was it? There was another TV show that I've just started rewatching. Was it Breaking Bad? No, it was something else. The building that I lived in for 15 years in Studio City basically was half of the fucking place was filled with dudes or ladies or people that were in the middle of a divorce or separated. And Colin and I were no different. I moved in there during my separation, and Colin did the same fucking thing. Here's the funniest part. He worked on fucking From Dusk Till Dawn. Colin did some super cool shit. Could draw anything, man. Anyway, one day, it was I don't know whatever it was. There was a park in Studio City that I used to take Riley to all the time. And because she was in gymnastics, she used to like to get on the rings and show people how. And because other kids would go, "Oh wow!" It was shit she learned doing gymnastics since she was fucking 3, and it was fun. But I'm like, this your ego. You need some shrooms, baby. I know you're only 8, but you need shrooms. I'm kidding. Anyway, one day we're at this park. Where they've shot a lot of stuff. You've seen this park is part of many TV shows, especially Modern Family. At one point, the I can't remember the name of the game, but something about the wall, not dodgeball, but I can't remember the name of the game. Anyway, go over there, and there's a lady who is obviously their babysitter nanny with these two kids who are a little bit older than Riley. The girl asks Riley to jump in and play with them. So they're playing, they're having fun, a bunch of minutes, whatever, and then they leave after a few minutes. So we got a good look at these kids and see how they acted. They were pretty cool. A couple weeks later, Riley and I are in the pool at my apartment, which was right in the middle of the square complex, right next to across the street from CBS Radford, where they shot Larry Sanders and Seinfeld, Gilligan's Island, all kinds of shit. Anyway, we're in the pool, and all of a sudden, from the back door, some tall guy and a couple of kids come through, and they walk by the pool. And like, oh, you guys are having fun. Hi. Hello, hey, and I look up, and Sylvie is walking right by the pool, walking right by the thing, and she looks at me and kind of does this. I kind of, like, I know him, and I went, I know you. I know you too. Look at the boy, Miles.
Yeah.
Like, wait, don't we know each other? Where do we see each other before? The park. I hadn't met Colin yet because he was working on a movie.
Got it.
He was working on some horror movie where he was working like overnight hours. So we hadn't actually met yet, but he'd moved in like a couple of months before.
Mm-hmm.
And he had the kids on the weekends.
Yeah.
And I ended up being their Manny after a while because doing voice work out of the apartment and not having a normal gig. Colin was like, they love you. You guys hang out all the time. Tuesdays, Thursdays, and every other Friday. I'll do it, yeah. So I used to pick them up, school, whatever, and Fridays were great because then I had Riley on the weekends, and it was a blast. It was easy. I was like, I'm getting paid for this? I'm getting paid for this? Because they did everything, they dealt with this fucking guy. Pretty cool babysitter. I gave him weed. Anyway.
Yeah, sure.
I'm kidding. It was CBD. No, dude, my apartment, like where you have Jim here, at one point in my apartment in Studio City, those kids drew so many fucking pictures. This whole wall would have been covered with their pictures. And this wall here. There was a corner in the kitchen. Mm-hmm. It was just spread out and went into the living room. All their fucking, they would come, and that's because they knew, they drew something, they knew I'd put it on the wall. So that's one of the things that was easy. Yeah, you guys do that. I'm just on the internet. You guys draw. Talk. It was fucking great, dude. But it was so cool that that synchronicity thing that we met at the park 2 weeks before. Yeah. We didn't even know. And then they're the reason Miles was going to Dave's school, that School of Rock. That's why Riley wanted to go. Because Miles was going there, and we went to a show at the Mint in, if anybody, and I know that people will be watching and some already do. There's only 2 here now, but whatever, later on. I know there's people that watch this that know LA. They know where the Mint is. It's a cool little bar where a lot of local bands and a lot of people play. Fucking looking at Miles, this kid, I'm his Manny, and I'm looking at him on this little stage with a fucking sunburst fucking Les Paul fucking playing riffs. I'm going, he's 10. And I'm going to go, this is so fucking cool. And then, of course, Riley, I want to do this, I want to do this, I want to do this. Yeah. Sure. So she ended up doing it, too. It was a fucking trip. I don't remember. There was another point.
What is she doing now?
She's doing some TV production stuff. She was in a video for a friend's band that was pretty cool. It's a pretty cool song. I shared it. It's been a while. It's been a few months. But she plays this girl that comes in and basically doses some dudes to murder. She's a little murderous. It's a cool little video, and it's a cool little punk popish song. I can't remember the name of the band. It's been a while. She did that, but mainly, doing a lot of. Dude, she worked at this hotel for a bit. I gave her Slash's book when I was leaving Los Angeles. I'm getting rid of some of my books. I don't want to take everything. Which ones do you want? She took Slash's, Duff's book, and a few others. Anyway, she was reading the Slash book, and then she texted me going, "I know this dude." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" She said she took a screenshot of the page of Slash talking about before, back in the day when he first started doing stuff and with bands in the 80s before Guns N' Roses. One of the bands he played with, I can't remember the name of the fucking guy. It's on the list. It's before Guns N' Roses. I can't say it, but this guy who led this band, this is the name of it, whatever that was. He always wanted like an Yngwie Malmsteen type of guy, and Slash didn't really fit, but he played with him for a few shows. But he mentioned a few of the other guitarists that played with this guy before and after him. And one of them was this guy that used to play at Riley, the hotel that Riley worked at in the thing. And it's like, I actually know this dude. Well, it was cool that gave her a book and, hey, right there. It was neat.
All connected, man.
See, it's all synchronicity.
Or synchronicity too, depending on which one you like better.
She really knows her albums. Favorite album of all time? Hurry up, say it before we go.
Don't have one.
Not even one. Not even Rocks.
Well, it'd probably be an Aerosmith one, but it's too hard to
Toys?
choose. It's too hard to choose.
Well, top two for me, Aerosmith wise, is Toys and Rocks.
Well, yeah, Toys has a special place because that's where the songs on that one are when I first heard them.
Oh, was that your first album?
No, I didn't. Well, I didn't have.
I mean, first album of them. I mean, that's what you meant. That's what you said.
Yeah.
Sort of.
Yes.
How was that? What did you hear a tune or did somebody give you the album and you just hit play?
Well, no, I went. My brother, he's 5 years older than me, so he used to listen to a lot of music in his room, and it'd be wafting out. And so one day I was sitting.
You mean the music or the weed?
Probably no.
Both.
Both. And one day I was sitting in the living room, and it had just been a sun shower, and so there was like dew on the grass from the sun shower, little water droplets, and there's lizards coming out because it's now the sun's back out. And I'm setting that picture because I was just kind of like the little kid, so I'm like looking out, kind of daydreaming, and all of a sudden this out of my brother's room is this guy singing, "Ooh, it's a sunny day outside my window," and he's repeating it, and I'm like, okay. And it just kind of fit what I was seeing. And I never thought anything of it. I never asked him what it was because I was a little kid. I didn't. So you fast forward I don't know how long it was, but my mom took us somewhere and said, "Oh, you can was allowing me to buy my first 45.
Whoa.
And so I'm looking through the bin, and
before you left, did she make sure to get the little plastic things to?
That's right, a little.
I forget what they were called.
I know. I just.
I remember you used to put them on my middle finger and you go fling, and flick them across the room.
And I found Wild Cherry, and it played that funky music, and it was like a cherry colored, and I was like, "Oh, that's cool!" And I knew that song. And then I grabbed this other one, and it says Aerosmith, "Walk This Way," and I said, "Oh, I wonder if that's that song I've been hearing on the radio," which was probably why 100, because I mean that they played top 40, but they would have played that. And I was young enough. That's probably what I was listening. And I said, I wonder if that's that song. So I had the choice to buy the one that I knew, or this one that I didn't. And of course I bought the one that I didn't. It makes perfect sense now. But at the time I'm like, yeah, I'll have this one. I have no idea if it's a song. So I pop it on, and sure enough, it's the Walk This Way I've been hearing on the radio. And then I flip it over to hear the B-side, and all of a sudden, ooh, it's a sunny day. So you talk about your synchronicity. And I was like, oh, snip the tether. I'm home. That was Uncle Salty. So, of course, it was a song about Uncle Salty's a song about the girl who services sailormen. But, She's a hooker.
You're a hooker?
Exactly.
Jesus, I forgot. I thought she was doing great with you.
Yeah. So that's how I came to know Aerosmith.
Where's the rest of this moose? That's great. You must never run out of ice your whole life.
And on that note,
Except for fish. I'm sorry, did you say except for fish? Yes. Fish bathe together, although they tend to eat one another. I often think fish must get awfully tired of seafood. What are your thoughts, Thompson? I gotta watch. I'm probably gonna go to sleep watching that fucking movie.
there you go.
Oh my god. VD, I'm really into penicillin. No, that was a great story though. That actually is. I mean, we are at the end. Fluffo. But no, that's awesome. I don't recall you ever telling me that story.
Yeah, I probably did not, but yeah, that's how. And then they recently released, for they're celebrating their 50th anniversary on their 52nd, but they released on their YouTube channel previously unreleased concert footage, and they released the first one this past Friday, and it's up for a week, and then they'll take it down and put another one up. And I was watching it. It was from 1977 at the Summit. But
I hit play on that too. But Steven's fucking mic is so overmodulated. I think that's the same one, right?
I don't think so. I don't think so. Anyway,
I hit play on a recent one that popped up. Yeah, a recent.
I wasn't even about that. I was just looking at him, and I was like, "Nah, yeah, I that's a little before my time." But I remember looking at him. That's what he looked like when I first saw him, and I immediately was brought back to that age. If you went when I was watching him, and I got like teary eyed. I was with friends, and they're like, "What's wrong with you?" I'm like, because I'm so used to seeing him now.
Mm.
He's an older fella now, but I'm going back and seeing how he looked back then. It just brought me back to that time when I was like,
Ooh, look at that junkie.
yeah, well, I was a bit young to know about junkies.
Same. Well, the way that I made money to finish it up, I had no idea. I was an Aerosmith fan. I had become a fan, and the summer after graduation, I did golf course construction, and the summer after I came back from Australia, golf course construction in New Hampshire. We took this old 9-hole golf course in Newport, New Hampshire, and built 10 holes around it while it was open, those old 9 holes. And then the next summer we came back and ripped up those 9 and built another 8, so it turned it into a really nice 18-hole golf course. Mm-hmm. Anyway, being in New Hampshire, that's where I learned the whole thing about Aerosmith, about they're not Boston's bad boys, they're basically New Hampshire's bad boys. Oh, shit. Because it was an hour and a half, it's about an hour and a half from here, I think it is. Somewhere around there, hour and a half, 2 hours from here. When I did that for those 2 summers, I would drive down there. My boss put me up in an inn, and a few other guys. We were put up in an inn, so we'd stay for the week, and then come home on the weekends. That whole drive, both on the way back and too, it was all rocks. And then when my stepbrother started the following summer, and then we would drive together because he was old, got a little bit older, and he was doing it. Then we'd have to sometimes listen to Bad Company. I'm like, I wanted to blow his fucking brains out. This is tiring. How can you say you don't like Aerosmith, but this rocks? You don't like rocks, but you just listen to the fucking Johnny was a young boy. I think that's that's him. Over and over, man.
What?
It's just so
What were you just
fucking
singing?
boring. What was it? Wasn't it? Johnny was a young boy.
Oh,
Yeah.
Shooting Stars. Like, what are
Yeah.
you singing? And see, I like Bad Company, so.
I do too, but not when it's, dude, whenever I was in my stepbrother's truck, dude, it was just blaring this and there it was basically listening to Zeta. Oh. It was like listening to corporate rock before it was corporate rock. You're like, dude, you got to mix it up a little bit because I didn't just listen to rocks. I also had toys. I also had a whole bunch of others, Joe Walsh, a whole bunch of other stuff. Can we listen to stuff? No, when I'm driving, it's this. Fuck, I'm driving next time, motherfucker. And then synchronicities to nail that all up. While I was in Australia, he fucking destroyed my car. He drove my car while I was in Australia and totaled my Datsun B210 driving it through fields, and he busted the frame.
That's because he was listening to rocks and it freaked him out.
Now that's some guitar, man.
What just happened?
Did you hear that fucking bass? That fucking dude. Even Hamilton fucking crushes. I came home from Australia, and a few months later, Andrea, the reason that I went to Australia to begin with, who was an exchange student my senior year, she came back for a week. Now my stepsister's getting married. It's her wedding day. Andrea is staying with her host parents that she stayed with when she was here for the year, just for a week and doing stuff with them, but also doing stuff with me. And she's like, I can't go to the wedding, but I'll go to the party after. You can come get me if you can come get me and go to the party after the wedding. I fucking shot the wedding. My stepbrother, my dad, and I. My dad had come up from Virginia. We went. There was the three of us that went. Drove together. I shot that fucking thing. I talk about boring. Jesus Christ. I was the cameraman. And then, and my dad on the way there in the morning, he drank a 6-pack of Coors Light. I wasn't drinking, but Tracy and I, he and I did hit the bowl a couple times. We did smoke some weed. Anyway, but I wasn't high. I leave the wedding. Everybody's leaving. Bunch of us are going to the after party. There's 2 after parties. There's a reception at some place, and then there's going to be an after party at their house. The reception thing, I leave to go get Andrea. Coming back, and I'm using Tracy's car, my stepbrother's car. His new car. Well, it's not new, but was it I don't know. So we're almost there. And we're fighting over guns. We're not fighting. We're silly. It's a silly little thing about, no, push play. I'm driving along. It was basically about putting Appetite for Destruction in the tape player. But it wasn't it was a sort of thing. I'm coming up to this intersection. I don't see the stop sign until I'm 10 feet from the intersection because there's a tree covering the stop sign, so I never saw it. At the last second, I don't know why I didn't hit the brake. I don't know why I hit the gas instead. For some reason, I saw at the moment it pops into my head a lot of times. I'm trying to sleep, and it keeps me from being able to sleep. But luckily, everybody was okay. Anyway, for some reason, at that last second, I gunned it. And then through. So instead of, if I had hit the brakes, it would have been like smash. Right. It would have been a lot worse. I gunned it, so then they just caught the ass end. Still totaled Tracy's car. Got him back. Not on purpose, though. But anyway, everybody was fine and everything. But still, that what was the point? Guns N' Roses, Andrea, wedding, whatever.
Aerosmith,
yeah. Oh, the next night or 2 nights later, Andrea and I went to Old Orchard Beach to see Aerosmith, and the Black Crowes opened. It was June 1990, something like that. Old Orchard Beach. There, we did that full circle. I did it.
Which is also an Aerosmith song, Full Circle, sissy. It all works out.
Man. Red Puddinhead would be so proud. That's so cool. We also had the same teacher. Anyway, that's your fault.
I know. It's my fault. I'm blamed for quite a few of you.
I had diverticulitis a couple of months ago, and that's obviously your fault because everything was set in motion in 1994.
You're welcome.
Yes, every time blood comes out of my asshole, I think of Kimba.
If I had $1.
All right. I'm gonna let you go to sleep, and I should probably do the same. Did we have fun?
We had fun. Did anyone else have fun?
I think we did. We still have 2 people here for some reason. But there'll be more
I guess
later.
as soon as I leave here, I'm gonna have to look that up on Urban Dictionary because I don't know what that means either.
Which one? Deep 5?
Yeah.
Oh no, deep 5. I think Becca means 5 hours. Me, because Beckham and I have gone 5 hours a couple of times. We're not doing that. We have. That was back in.
Well,
the
no.
day
After
when
that,
I
he
didn't-
said he looked it up on Urban Dictionary.
Oh, Watson looked it up.
Yeah.
I saw the same tour with the same 2 bands that year, a mostly unknown Black Crowes and Aerosmith. Wow, 1990? No shit. That's badass.
I think I've seen Aerosmith pretty much every time they played since 80.
God damn.
And even traveled to see him a few times.
And still are going to.
Yeah. Oh, I think they sound great. He sounds great now. There was a period of time.
You are one crazy bitch.
Yeah, well. We were just talking about it. Oh, because some of the pictures I was posting. Oh no, somebody else asked what was the first concert you ever went to see, and I was like, take a wild guess. and I had the stub from it, but somebody else, their first concert was Brian Adams. I'm trying to think what order they went in. Sammy Hagar, Brian Adams, Sammy Hagar, Aerosmith, and Journey. Journey was headlining over Aerosmith, and it was in April of 1983, and they played the Miami Baseball Stadium. And I was really pissed that Journey was headlining over Aerosmith, but
yeah, it was the drug days,
yeah, because Joe and Brad.
Joe wasn't there,
Brad wasn't either.
Brad wasn't there, yeah.
It was
Joe Perry Project and Brad Whitford.
It was Dufay and Crespo, and they came, but Steven came out and he had this little wispy goatee, and I don't know why I remember this. He came out and had like a cape and just did this bow, and I just remember thinking, my God, this man is so wasted. I mean, you could just see he was like so out of it. That was one of the only times I saw him that out of it.
And I don't give him shit for being out of it. I mean, dude, to think about, especially as you get older, because you don't really think about it when you're younger, when the younger years when everybody wants to be famous. And then, of course, some people just don't grow out of that shit. Some people try and see behind the curtain and go, oh, fuck this. Jesus Christ, this is stupid. Hi. Anyway, what the hell was my point?
You don't blame him.
Oh, you don't? Yeah, I used to, because
that's what I'm here for, by the way, to remind him of history.
Yeah, exactly. When you think about, like, for instance, I mean, not just Aerosmith. I mean, at least Aerosmith had a little bit of a little more of a gradual thing. But like thinking of it, where I used to use Guns N' Roses as an example. Yeah, I know Axl's not perfect, and I don't agree with everything he's ever fucking said. But the guy was still a great songwriter. But anyway, where I would hear people shit on him and stuff, I'm like, wait, listen, think of it this way. And it took me a while to do the same thing. Imagine being nobody, like where you are right now. Nobody. Imagine tomorrow, all of a sudden tomorrow, everybody knows who the fuck you are. Everybody across the globe. And it's a fucking mind fuck, especially when you're already a fucked up person to begin with, and all of them. I mean, everybody deals it in their own way. So And as big to bring it back to Steven, and those guys, as long as they've been around, it's still amazing. They're still alive. Especially as many times as Steven's fallen off the wagon, you would think, when you usually fall off the wagon, you use a little too much and then, boop, you're gone.
Yeah, you just got out again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But oh my God, an Aerosmith, as big as they are and were never actually like Guns N' Roses that big. I mean, even though they are a huge inspiration of Guns N' Roses, you hear Aerosmith in Guns N' Roses, which is one of my favorite parts of GNR. You hear that flavor, but you hear a whole bunch of flavors, which is why GNR was what they were. There was a whole bunch of different flavors in there. Still people trying to call it metal. That's not fucking metal, you dunce.
Well,
That's
when
rock and fucking roll.
Well, when Aerosmith was, first out, and Aerosmith and Queen were considered heavy metal. I'm not kidding. And Elton John was considered rock. If you go in the record store, because Metallica didn't exist, so that kind of music didn't really.
That was where I was going next. Go ahead.
So, they were considered heavy metal at one time because they were the heaviest thing that was out there at the time.
It's fucking funny as shit. Speaking of the first concerts, besides going to bluegrass stuff, I'm wrapping this up. Besides bluegrass stuff with my parents or whatever, my first actual big concert at a place, the Cumberland County Civic Center, Kenny Rogers, Eddie Rabbitt, and Sawyer Brown opened.
Wow.
And Sawyer Brown had just won Star Search, and the drummer was from Portland, Maine. So this was a huge, like, wow. My next show at Cumberland County Civic Center, ZZ Top.
There's a trifecta.
But the band that I've seen the most is Metallica, and 6 or 7. That some of them are blurry, especially in the 90s. I was there at Lollapalooza. Anyway, my the first time I saw Metallica was the Justice tour. My senior year of high school. Just bought my the white T-shirt with the 4 pictures of all of them with Jason and all of that. That really the cheesy fuck. It's so cheesy, but it was so cool at the time. But now you look at it, and go, dude. I just bought that fucking thing. Threw it over the shirt that I was already wearing. I'm in the pit, and I'm 10 feet from the stage with my buddy Rick Campbell, who is he's heavier than me, but he's shorter. At one point, everybody starts doing this and doing this. And like I said, I'm like 10 feet from the stage. Next thing you know, all of a sudden going this way, somebody steps on my ankle and my foot. Oh, shit. I go down. Rick, shorter than me, goes, whoop, pulls me. When he pulled me up from the ground after getting stomped on by a whole bunch of people, I literally left my feet. He pulled me taller than I am. That motherfucker was strong. And at the same time, he ripped my shirt. Like, man, what the fuck? You saved my life, but you ripped my shirt, bitch. Well, god damn. I knew you'd hit that one.
Yeah, that happened at the baseball stadium show. We were doing that. You're almost horizontal with the crowd shoving. It was actually scary, though. It was getting to the point where it was like starting to constrict. I said, we got to get out of here. This is getting bad.
Speaking of shows, to wrap that up, I meant to come back to this one. The cocaine dealer that beat the fuck out of me before I was in radio.
You're like a country song, man. Your shirt gets ripped. You get your face beaten in. You total your car. What happened to your dog, Wayne? What happened to your dog?
Oh, you just made me into John Wick. I love you so much. I'm growing my fucking hair back out. Fuck this shit. Beard's coming back too. Anyway, dude, the first Zeta Fest.
Yeah.
First Zeta Fest I ever went to. First time I got the fucking, because I'm an employee, I got the fucking VIP shit. Fuck yeah. I walk in through the VIP shit. Who's sitting there with his really thin girlfriend? A fucking coke dealer that beat the shit out of me a couple of years before. I'm like, what the fuck is he doing here in the VIP sec?
You get him kicked out?
Oh, that's right. There's a bunch of roadies and musicians here. I went up. I said, hey. Because we had... Because after he beat the shit out of me, a couple weeks later, we sort of made up, and he swore he wouldn't sell to my epileptic friend anymore.
Oh, I thought you were going to say he swore he'd never beat the shit out of you again.
Dude, while he was beating the shit out of me, he was telling me he didn't want to do it. But I kept... Because obviously I'm a glutton for punishment.
You'll be okay with it?
While I was telling him, while he was holding me and I kept calling him Michael. And that's why he kept hitting me, because nobody calls me Michael except for my dad, Wayne. I don't want to do this. Don't call me Michael. Whatever you say, Michael. Wham! Fucking dumb cunt. He didn't want it. He literally, it was the fucking, really remembering that. What a trippy thing to be having the shit beat out of you by somebody who's saying, I don't want to do this. It's kind of like the David Tell joke. My dad used to beat me, but he would say, I don't want to do this, but it's the only way I can get hard.
Oh, jeez.
David Tell is so great.
Oh, it's not a podcast without Wayne almost choking to death. There you have it. Now we can stop this, because now
they've seen it before. I really didn't expect that joint to be so dry. Damn. It's a mixture of Blue Dream and White Widow. I didn't expect it to hit me so hard. I am almost 51. Maybe that's what it is. Damn. Usually Jays don't do that. It's funny. Oh, maybe it's because, you people are staring at me. All right, did we wrap it up?
Your lungs have wrapped it up. Let's call this a day.
It won't. Sometimes it's like, water in the wrong pipe. Wait, 1, 2, 3. We're going on the air soon, Thursday. Sorry, that's what Fezzi used to do. Not really. Fez is dead, baby. Fez is dead. Why does it look like I have a little... Look at that. What is that? I'm turning into Reed Richards. Oh my God, pretty soon my arms are going to be able to reach all the way across. Reed Richards, Fantastic Four. Sorry.
Sure. Oh, yeah, that's right. I don't speak nerd.
All right, I'll let you go, sweetheart. Wait, all right, let me go back. Are y'all going deep 5? Yeah, deep 5 meant 5 hours. Like Wayne, it's not long, but it tastes like shit. In a world where Wayne is your kid's Manny. I saw the same tour. Oh, yeah, we already read that. Deep 5 is actually... It's not a whip. Okay, we already read that. I'm sorry. James, it's a great fucking thing that you're on the West Coast. He's always here to the end. Fluffo. All right, so we've had so much fun. The first 2. Should there be a Kimba part trace?
I don't know. Should there be? Really?
I know. As soon as I fucking stop recording and as soon as I hit end broadcast, I know full well it happens every time. I'm gonna go, oh fuck, I forgot to bring up, and now there's gonna be a list of 4 or 5 things. But I think we hit some really good ones and a lot of synchronicities.
No life. You're talking about you or us? We're the ones sitting here at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning.
Oh my God, it's 2:45.
Yeah.
All right, gotta go. See you. Bye. All right. So yeah, there will be a trace at some point. I'm slowing down because as much fun as I have every time, it's so fucking weird. It used to be like with my buddy Mike, who did Whip. What, I don't know, somewhere in the '80s, a couple before you. Who I did a play with for 6 months, about 8 years ago, whatever. And some other stuff. Dude just became a dad. What the hell was my point? Shit, Mike. What was my point?
You're slowing down.
Huh?
You're slowing down.
You mean the video?
No. Your point. You said you're starting to slow down.
Oh my God, I'm so fucking.
I believe we have.
Oh, doing the play with Mike, or like going on the air when you doing the radio show back with Tara, or anything I did on the air. It was always there. There was always. It's so funny how the times where I was like, yeah, can't wait, always ended up being. Bleh. But when I'm like, do I really want to do this? Do they really want to do it? Nobody cares. No, fucking whatever. Go in with that attitude, and like, oh, that's one of the best ones I ever did. Which was kind of like doing the play with Mike, and Mike opened the play almost perfect. He opened with doing a little monologue, and he was the lead. I played his brother, and his slut brother. Simple casting. So, but I remember, I still remember it. You made me think of that. Like right before he would go on, I remember the curtain being right there, and I'd go up there and I'd be, "No, brother, and I'd get him all jacked up. Yeah, man, yeah. And then it'd always be like that. But if I went up and go, who cares? Fuck, dude. Yeah, fuck. Let's go. Yeah, fuck. Fucking old people out there. Who cares? Just fucking go kill. Whatever. And that would be one of the best shows. Stop getting excited, dickhead. Wait for the excitement in the middle of it to, like what we just did. Anyway, all right. Is it time to shut the fuck up?
I think James says bedtime, Wayne.
He's like,
I think that means.
He's like my quasi producer.
Yeah.
All right.
He's doing that. Give me the hand signal. Break.
I use, that's my problem. Shit, I can't think of the phrase. I confused the break sign with the what's it? Roll, keep going. What's the fucking thing?
Stretch.
Stretch. I keep confusing with break. I keep stretching. Oh, you wanted me to break? Oh, I just kept shooting my fucking hole. Anyway, are you seeing the video doing weird things?
No.
No? It's just my end?
You're freezing every now and again, but outside of that, no.
That's what I guess I mean.
Yes, I am seeing that.
That's bullshit. Maybe I made a mistake with my internet switch. All right, whatever. All right, let's get the fuck out of here. So there, someday, maybe, if I survive, there will be a Kimba part trace, and then maybe a quattro, and then maybe a cinco. It's fun. So many. That's the beauty of it. I think Mike's the only guest I've ever had that's only done once. So, and now that he's a dad, we're gonna have more to talk about. I don't even know what that means. Anyway, thank you, Kimba, for hanging out. I think we had a blast.
My pleasure.
pretty cool 2.5 hours. We weren't on a clock, which is nice, but now we are. Oh my God, I'm such a fucking douchebag. So yeah, the Kimba's stuff. Go see her stuff is in the description, so check it out and
Go see my stuff. Yes.
go see Kimba's stuff. It's super dirty and still sexy at the same time. But I don't know what that means. Anyway, watch the Corbett Report, Jimmy Dore Show, Russell Brand, Kim Iverson, Jackson Hinkle for Look For Yourself. I'm just a fun babbling lecture. Dabbler? Remember wrong, Neo, a.k.a. One. Sorry, ran long. Had to bump comedian Brendan Walsh. Thanks, Gary. Daddy loves you. Messing with my peebles. Thank you, darling. Say goodbye.